So, Compassion Knight. I don't think we rated this card.
I have rated it, but I don't know how come. Probably when I wrote the white article. I rated this as an 8th to 10th pick because it's so mana intensive.
Yeah, it's pretty mana intensive, but the first strike is pretty relevant, and when you can pump and just kill stuff.
There's a lot of threats.
So sometimes it's just a free one damage every turn. Because you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to use this pump ability. You could just giant growth him, and then you still get to kill their dude with the first strike.
True, and he carries equipment and other things very well.
Yeah. I'm not super excited to play him, but sometimes you just need a 2-mana 1/1 or a 2-mana first strike dude.
One of my points here was that I'll take a Silvercoat Lion over this guy most of the time.
Yeah, Silvercoat Lion's just a 2/2, right?
Yeah.
I could see that.
But maybe he's a 7th, 9th then.
That sounds fair.
And I think he will be a trap that people will pick him a lot higher. Thinking him like it's a knight, he costs as much as the white knight did in M13, but it's nowhere near the Exalted Knight.
No, so one of the things that we're coming off of is in the RTR block, people picked Crawl Warrior very highly. And Crawl Warrior was a 2-mana 2/2, and you could tap 5 and a green, and he got +3/+3 until end turn.
Yes.
So I think that's what people are going to compare, because he does get +3/+0 for 6 mana. But it's not as good as Crawl Warrior, right? Crawl Warrior becomes a 5/5.
And Crawl Warrior was like decent with, but the
Yeah.
one first strike is sad.
Yeah, and this guy's going to require... And, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know that he's 7th to 9th, now that I look at it.
So I'm putting him back at 8th to 10th that I originally wrote.
Yeah. It's requiring 2 mana just to get him to bear level. Yeah.
To kill a bear, actually. But okay,
Yeah,
let's
just to kill a bear. All right, let's move on to
not
planers
in
then.
drafts with Kevin. Planet Cleansing was a very interesting card in the limited resources M13 set review because they had a big disagreement on this card. I think Marsh and that this is actually quite bad.
Oh, is it? I would actually rate... I mean, it's a sweeper.
Basically, they said, like, Mark said first pick and Marshall said unable.
A 6 mana for sweeper is asking for an awful lot.
And it's 3 white.
Yeah, and it's 3 white. So, maybe this isn't playable. I think we're probably going to default there because I didn't play much M13 to know that this card wasn't playable.
I was swept by this card several times and lost matches to this card. So it is still a sweeper, and I think unplayable is too harsh. Especially if this format is slower, but if it's not, if the slivers deck kill you by turn 5 or 6, then you will look stupid with this in your hand.
Yeah. Because it's just a matter of... If the format's... If these decks are fast enough that they're killing you on turn 6 or before turn 6, or you're effectively dead, then do you really even want this card in your deck?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It did kill a Planeswalker for me. In time I got a Jace.
Well, then I guess if your opponent's playing Jace, then this is an okay card.
No, you will already be dead when you cast. Jace only needs to hit you once, or it needs to hit you twice actually. So you could survive with this if you are on the play. I think it's 6th to 8th level.
Okay, I'll default to you there. That sounds pretty fair to me.
I wouldn't be too unhappy with this as my 23rd card, but maybe I should play a Silvercoat Lion over this.
Yeah, and I know a lot of in Gatecrash, a lot of people played Merciless Eviction, which is pretty darn good.
It was easier to cast, right?
Sort of. It cost 4 back.
And you could shoot the effect, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could choose to exile creatures or enchantments or artifacts or planeswalkers.
Yeah, and that's a bonus.
Yeah, this one just says no. We're gone. Everything's gone. Alright, so let's
And
move
here
on.
is Bloodbairn. This was the card I was talking about.
And this is better than Bloodthorn Vampire.
Actually, having 2 power makes a world difference.
But other than that, it's a Grey Ogre, right?
But it is the Bloodthorn Vampire was doing nothing a lot of the time, and this could still hit you for 2. It is a functional reprint of Nantaco Husk, which was quite a relevant card in 9th edition limited.
Oh, okay. So,
but I know that Bloodthorn Vampire in its original format was a relevant card, and it definitely wasn't relevant in M13.
Yeah, I think its original format, it had a lot of graveyard type synergies and ways to make more tokens than M13, if I recall right.
Maybe Husk did too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about the original sets or formats, but I think that was what the case was, is that the graveyard synergy and spores were probably much more prevalent than they were in M13.
But it's probably the same as in 9th.
But another format here where we don't have a lot of graveyard synergy. Is that good?
Being able to kill a creature instead of 3 could be relevant. Sort of.
Yeah, as a way to kill the Pillarfield Ox.
Yeah.
Maybe Pillarfield Ox made Bloodthorn Vampire unplayable last set. I don't know.
I have high hopes for Bloodbairn. And with high hopes, I mean it's a 4th to 6th pick.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what Nantuko Husk was in 9th.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 3 mana for a 2/2 is not exciting, but it's okay. I've played some Slate Street Ruffians as 23rd cards, which are the 2 mana. They're the 3 mana 2/2 from Gatecrash that whenever your opponent blocks it, they have to discard a card. And sometimes that card is playable. I was never excited about it. It was often a 23rd card, and maybe Bloodbairn is just a smidgen more upside than the 23rd card.
So let's... I think it needs to be played in to see where it lands. But
I think rating it to 6th to 8th is fine, I think. Or 5th to 7th even. Did you say 5th to 7th or 6th to 8th? I don't remember.
I said 4th to 6 even,
4th
but
to 6, okay.
5th to 7 seems reasonable, so stumped it up now. Traumatize is a card that's been reprinted in core set 4 times before. And why?
I don't know. People want the Jace effect that doesn't last.
It's totally unplayable.
15th pick, got it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Blessing is interesting, though. Blessing is interesting, though. What do you think about Blessing?
I think it's really expensive.
It's really expensive, but it's like white gets a fire-breathing effect. That's not a typical effect for white to get.
No, it's not. And this is an alpha card as well, so... otherwise, I don't think it would ever see print today.
Yeah, so the last time white had an effect like this, they had the Order of Lateburr, I think, which required 2 mana to give... basically it was the same thing as the Compassion Knight.
Yeah, but that came on a very decent body with protection back.
Yeah, it's mana to give your white creature fire breathing, but a little bit better than fire breathing. So I don't even know where to rate this card. It's a creature enchantment, so we can't rate it too highly.
No, it's a creature enchantment that doesn't enchant anything unless you put mana into it every turn.
Yeah.
So you will get 2 for 1, you will be unable to use it, you will not have enough white mana for it to... today actually, I rated it as an 8th to 10th pick if you're mono white, and 13th to 15th if you're not.
Okay,
I don't think this is playable. Imagine being white-blue and then playing this, on turn 5.